Hi all, just wanted to go over some quick do's and don'ts and just simple installation instructions here just to make that a little more obvious. I realize I might have kind of skipped out on some of that in the tutorial, just going through the exciting fancy features and none of the maybe more important bits on how to just get this whole thing set up. So starting out, the first thing you want to do is just get the zip file that came with the beta download, or if this is the final version, it's the same thing, should be. Of course, just select that and extract it. And inside of the folder that creates, you should get a Unity package. Just go ahead and double click it. And you get the standard Unity import dialog. Make sure you just import everything, definitely all needed, every bit of it. So just click on import without changing anything at all. Let Unity go through its standard thing, compiling the scripts, importing it all. Okay, so now we'll have a couple folders, gizmos, just some gizmos that are needed for this. Make sure they don't move out of that folder. We have the editor folder with some bits and pieces, just inner workings of the tool, so definitely don't want to mess with any of that. In the 6x7 folder, there is one thing under ProBuilder and then materials. We have a couple materials that you can use that make that are pretty handy for building levels and just getting them set up. These nice little grid box materials, and then the collider and node draw materials, which the script looks for and will automatically do some fancy things to the mesh that's on there, which is kind of gone over in the other tutorials. So check those out about those. So anyway, materials are right in there if you need them. So we'll go about getting this working in the editor now. First thing, might get a couple little yellow errors here about implicit downcast or some such. No worry, we can just clear that. Just the usual. And then you won't necessarily right away have the window up here that you want. If you just click once, it should pop up, and there we have it, 6x7. So you can click on that and click on ProBuilder. And then I have made this so it works really nicely if you have it just right off to the side here. It's just a nice vertical control bar. So if you click right on the name, the label here on the tab, and just drag it over to the side, and then you can simply drag this over like so, make it fit a little better. The last thing you'll need to do is set up a tag called Builder Box, and you can do that simply by selecting any object at all, and then going Tag, Add Tag. Make sure you open up the tags little arrow there and not make a layer by accident. So you're in the tags, and any element number, it doesn't matter, and just add Builder Box, capital B both times. Have that in there. If anybody from Unity happens to be watching, it would be great to have a way in script to force create those Unity tags. Currently, no way at all that I could find, so you have to do it that way. Anyway, once that's created, you can go ahead and activate the ProBuilder script. Just click on the button there, and we can start creating boxes and doing things with them. So you just need to click on New Box to create one. And the first thing you might notice is that you get actually a bunch of kind of ugly red errors popping up. In this case, it's actually not a problem at all. These are just Unity worrying about the mesh being instantiated in edit mode. It just has to go that way, unfortunately, unless someone else out there knows a better way. It seems to be the only way to be able to control individual meshes without getting a whole ton of them stacked up in your project. So just necessary thing. It's not a problem. It's not going to affect your game in any way. These will only come up during the edit mode the first time you create the box or when you copy it. So no worries. You can just go ahead and clear that. Okay, so your box is created. To make another one, you can of course click New Box, create another one just like so. Or if you want to just create one that's already there, select any box or multiple boxes and hit Control D. Just like with usual Unity, you can create another copy, so forth. Make as many as you like. One thing you want to stay away from doing is making a prefab of any of these boxes. At the moment, that's not always, but generally will explode things. It's bad, so it's not really meant to work that way, but it is something that I'd like to add in the future. But otherwise, prefabs won't work. So let's just get rid of all these except the one. Once you have that box there, of course you can go in and edit it, do anything you'd like. Let's clear out these so they're not in the way. The usual edit geometry, edit texture, so forth. Should be pretty self-explanatory, especially if you go through the other tutorials. The last thing to go over is something just to do with the inner workings of the script and a bit of some don'ts. While you're working with it, you just want to make sure, apparently this has come up, that you don't delete any of the inner bits inside of here. They're unhidden so that you can select them and do some workings with them. But you definitely don't want to be accidentally deleting any of these parts or modifying their positions. The only time to do that is, under geometry mode, where you're just obviously moving verts around and that sort of thing. But otherwise, and this is another thing, again, hey Unity, if you happen to be watching, it would be great to be able to add multiple hide flags to an object so that it could both be not editable and hidden. Can only do one at a time at the moment. So, anywho, if anybody happens to have a need to directly edit any of these, it'd be great to know why so I can make it so you don't need to. You should never have to, but if you see a need, let me know and I will get on fixing that. Okay, so last of all, once again, if you're in, or if the ProBuilder mode is activated, you won't be able to select objects other than builder boxes. So you have to click on deactivate. And then once you're in here, when you click, again, just a little bit of a limitation that I found, you will select the plane faces, but won't be able to edit them at all. You can still select the top level just by clicking like so. It's probably a good idea to rename these occasionally, like some special box. You know exactly which one they are. If you need to select them in a hierarchy, they're not usually necessary. And then you can move them around, rotate them, do whatever you need to do. And then just reactivate builder mode when you want to do more work on this, just editing or texturing. And that's pretty much it. Setting it up, a couple little bits and pieces of, I guess, things not to break it, and how to use it. So go ahead and make sure you check out the more in-depth tutorial on how to use the whole system, and definitely sign up for the beta if you have the time to take a look at this and see what you think. See how it works for you. It'd be great to hear some feedback on that. Lots of good stuff already coming in. Thanks, and hope to hear back from many of you.